Welcome to the first video on the Project Invincible YouTube channel. My name is Nico, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you a short tour, or what I hope is a short tour, of my brand new powerlifting home gym. If the video does get too long, I will be sure to leave some chapters, little time markers in the description box below, so you can skip around to whatever sections that I talk about in the video. First, I'd like to thank and shout out some motivation and inspirations for my home gym. I'd first like to thank Jujimufu, my friend Leo Pando, Mr. Brandon Campbell, Mike Garazzo, and Bryce Lewis from The Strength Athlete. Their YouTube channels and whatnot will be linked in the description below. I really have to thank these guys because a lot of what they produced on YouTube and on social media really helped me decide how to develop my home gym myself. Okay, so welcome to the basement gym. This is it. It's a really small training space, and but I can do everything I want here. It is 12 feet by 8 feet, and it took 4 old gym mats, which measured 4 by 6 each. You could use a horse stall mat or any other rubber mat. This is about ½ inch thick. And I actually just got these from my gym that I'm currently still a member of. The owner had them piled up in a corner, and I asked him if he was going to use them, and he said no, he was just going to get rid of them and sell them. So I bought 4 of them from him for a very reasonable price. I took 3 of the 4 by 6 mats, lined them up side by side, and then I cut one lengthwise and filled in the back, and then pushed them all together and lined it with some gaffer's tape to fill in any of the gaps and give it a much cleaner look. It's also going to help stop it from separating from whenever I'm training in this area. I mean, it's a small space, but it gets the job done. It's I can do everything I want in here. Okay, so over here I have my iron. This is about, no, it's exactly 715 pounds of iron. I have it set on this Icarian weight tree, and this thing is beefy as hell. I got a sick deal on it, so I couldn't say no. I could have went a budget route and got like a really cheapy weight tree, but I really wanted to get at least 6 pairs of 45s on it, and I didn't want to risk having to worry about, you know, it getting bent or busted. And I know these are really solid plates that I was going to get, so I wanted to make sure that I had a quality investment when I was getting the weight tree. Most of the weights here I've got are a black discontinued Ivanko set. I have them in 3 pairs of 45s, 2 pairs of 35s, 25s, 4 10s, 2 5s, and 2 2.5s. And then I've got 3 of these standard barbell plates. They've been refurbished and painted with a kind of crappy paint. I got all these on Craigslist, and I got a really sick deal on all of it. I'm really happy with this weight tree, and this is probably one of the better deals I got when I was buying all of the gym equipment. Over here I've got some barbell collars. These are like, I'm not really sure who they're manufactured by, but they're definitely knockoffs of the Lockjaw. What I've also got here stored at the weight tree is my Rogue Mini Deadlift Jack. This thing is not a necessity for your home gym or any gym in particular, and I 100% believe that this is certainly just a luxury. I save far more energy having to handle the barbell, especially when it's loaded with so many 45s, and it's just a really convenient thing to have, rather than having to roll it over a 2.5 or just trying to hoist up the barbell when I'm trying to load up 45s. And I think this takes up far less space than the actual deadlift jack. And to be honest, I really like having the deadlift jack. And if I actually had the space rather than just this 12 by 8 foot area to work out in, I'd actually get the entire jack, just because it's really a lifesaver, and I really think it's really nice to have. 100% a luxury though, you really don't need it. So here on the left of my weight tree are actually my training kicks. These are the Adidas Power Perfect 2, and these are also the Reebok CrossFit Lite TRs. So these are the Adidas Power Perfect 2s. I use these to squat and bench in. When I first wanted to get Olympic weightlifting shoes, I couldn't really justify spending $200+ on the Adidas Addy Power or the Nike Romaleos, and I didn't really want to buy the budget Olympic weightlifting shoes just because I've seen and heard of reviews saying that the heel would compress or that the heel is a little softer than so far less optimal squat, and these are just somewhere in the middle, and the build quality was awesome, and I just really like the look of them. They're far less flashy than any of the more expensive Olympic weightlifting shoes, but they certainly get the job done, and I'm very happy with these. What was really the selling point for this was also that I saw like big name powerlifters and Olympic weightlifters use these. So as soon as I saw people like Dan Green or Dimitri Klokos sport these, you know I had to buy them. These are also discontinued, I believe, in the US, so I think you can only really get them in Europe. And even in Europe, I think it's also it's pretty hard to find nowadays. So when I bought them, I actually had to order them from Canada because they're not regularly distributed in the US anymore. So these are dead stock. These are my Reebok CrossFit Light TRs, and I don't really have much to say, but I do pull in these, both sumo and conventional, and I don't know, I'm really starting to fall out of love with these. I'll be replacing these soon enough. So let's move on to the main attraction of the gym. This is my squat stand. This is the SML1 by Rogue Fitness, and this thing is built to last. This thing is so beefy, and it's a tank, especially for a squat stand. This is probably the most durable, most heavy-duty squat stand I've ever experienced, and I'm really happy with this purchase. Here's where I squat, here's where I bench, and then there's a incredible variety of variations that I can adjust this thing into to do a lot of different barbell movements and whatever. But the biggest reason why I chose the SML1 contrary to a power rack or like an entire cage was for the limitations I had making this gym. Obviously this is a basement and I only have 8 feet by 12 feet of working space right now. This was a very obvious choice. Squat stands in general, just because of the space limitation, but primarily for the clearance. This basement only clears just about 80 inches, and this is the only option that actually was under 80 inches. This is the SML 1 70-inch model, and 70 inches is less than 80 inches. This was a no-brainer. I had to get this one, and I'm really happy with it because it also came in the Monster Light series, which is 3x3 uprights, and I knew that maybe one day I'll be really putting some heavy weight on the squat stand. I wanted something that can handle all that, and this was a really obvious choice. This was definitely the best option for what I had going on in this gym, and so far I'm super happy with it. So the only accessories I have for the SML1 are the Monster Light Sandwich J-Cups. These sandwich hooks are awesome. I replaced the regular J-Cups for this sandwich option just because they're thinner, and the entire thing is lined with a UMHW, which protects the barbell from getting dinged up if, say, you misrack it. So this was a really nice choice to help take care and keep the life of the barbells a little longer. And besides the hooks, I also have these safety spotter arms, which were kind of a necessity. They kind of get you here because you have to pay for these yourself. They're not included, so it's this, and then you have to pay for these separately, and these are very expensive contrary to the rest of the rig. This was probably, these are more than half as expensive than the actual rig itself. But obviously for safety reasons I actually wanted to pick these up. Okay, so let's take it over to this far side wall. Here's where I keep some of my gym equipment. This is an open bucket. I don't keep my chalk in here like most people. This bucket is for open air, and I keep some of my gym equipment in here. I keep my supports, my bands, my tape, slingshot, knee sleeves, lifting straps, my belt, and some barbell brushes. And this thing over here, this little box with a lid, is where I actually keep my chalk. This lid thing from IKEA is awesome. It's called the Sorter from IKEA, and I keep the chalk here because the lid keeps the chalk dust from actually flying everywhere and making a big ass mess. So you just chalk your hands inside, rub the excess with your hands and still inside of the box, and then you're set. This prevents any of the dust from kind of flying everywhere inside of your home gym. I like to try to keep things neat here at Invincible HQ. So to the left of the gym equipment are actually my homemade deadlift blocks. Oh god. These are each about a little under 4 inches tall, and I used 3x3 wood, 4x4 wood rather, and then 4x1 wood. I put them all together, glued them all together, nailed them together, put some rubber matting on top of it, and then used an old leather belt as a handle. And these are pretty solid. I painted them black so I give it a nice aesthetic, and it came out pretty nice. It was a really fun DIY project, and I really can't wait to pull 900 pounds off of them. Okay, so the free weight section here at Invincible HQ is obviously still very limited. I wasn't really huge on investing right away on any of the free weight dumbbells or anything like that, so I've got a really sparse collection of dumbbells here. These are all vintage hexagonal iron. They're all different colors before, so I painted them with a hammered black finish, and I don't really have a big selection, but they kind of get the job done for tricep kickbacks right now. I've got 5 pounds, 15 pounds, 35, 40, and 55. When the time comes or when the opportunity arises, I'll probably invest some more into the dumbbell selection. But right now, I don't really find it as a necessity, kind of just more as a luxury, because I do most of my movements with the barbell. And this right here is my bench. This is the Rogue Flat Utility Bench 2.0. I got this bench because it was the cheaper of the benches on Rogue Fitness, and this bench meets all competition requirements for most powerlifting federations. It's a really beefy bench. All the stuff that Rogue produces is really top-notch, USA made, quality stuff, and I was really happy with this bench. It meets competition standards, so this was an obvious choice for me. The bench itself is really well made, and it's pretty grippy too, so solid. Not much else to say about the bench. And right beside the bench is this Bluetooth speaker that me and my college roommates absolutely abused back in the day. This is a Bluetooth speaker made by a company called Ion. I really can't say what else they produce. I'm not really sure what else audio tech that they've made, but it's a really solid speaker and really gets the job done. I mean, it's not like an enhanced audio experience that you can get from like a Bose or any other manufacturers, but for what I need it for, it gets the job done, and it stands the test of time, especially throughout all those college days. We used to beat this thing up. It still holds up. This is the Ion house party speaker. It's not used for house parties. It's used for the gym. But what's really nice about this speaker is that you can do this with it, and I think this is one of the biggest things that help make Project Invincible HQ separate itself from other home gyms. So I really like this speaker a lot. Okay, so finally this is the last leg of the gym tour. This is my Rogue Fitness 3-bar gun rack and my 2 barbells. The 2 barbells I have here are the Rogue Ohio Power Bar and the Rogue Ohio Deadlift Bar. The Power Bar I used to do all 3 of my main movements, squat, bench, and deadlift, and then the Deadlift Bar obviously is for squatting. No, it's for deadlifting. I use the Deadlift Bar to kind of cheat on the deadlift. I see in the future that I will be using this far less than I intended, but I mostly got it as a fun sort of investment. I mean, like, I'm gonna open a bigger gym in the future, and having a deadlift bar, there's nothing wrong with having it around. The power bar I'll be using primarily for all of my movements though, because it meets all powerlifting federations that I'm interested in, so this will be the bar I'm going to be using with my competition future in mind. So squat, bench, and deadlift with just the power bar. Now with the deadlift bar, because we don't use the deadlift bar in competition. Well, a lot of federations do, but like not the federations that I'm interested in currently. I got both of these in a black zinc finish, and I spent the extra money because aesthetically it looks really good, but also as an investment for its life length. I think that having the black finish will have it last longer and take more abuse. And usually with any of the investments I make, especially anything I spend my money on, I always take good care of them. So anything to increase the longevity of these barbells and anything I actually buy, I always try my best to take care of. Oh, and for the gun rack, I also got the UMHW inserts to help protect the knurling. There's an option to just get the gun rack without the inserts, but then you're just going to have the barbell hit the metal, and you're probably going to mess up your knurling. This is the same UMHW that's on the sandwich hooks as well. So going back to taking care of the things that I invest in, if you remember those brushes that I had in that bucket before, these are the brushes that I use to actually remove any of the chalk or any of the dirt that probably will get inside of the knurling. I also use it to clean the sleeves from time to time when the crappy plates get their paint on them, kind of like how they are right now. I actually just clean it on the rack and just spin them in place. Yeah, take care of what you buy. Stop being an abusive consumer. But yeah, I've had a fair bit of use with each of these bars, and if you're interested in a comparison video, maybe I can do that in the future. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video like that. Wow, that feels good to say. So let me know. Okay, so that's really it for the basement gym tour. This is Invincible HQ 1.0. And if you made it this far, thanks so much for tuning in the entirety of the video. And if you skipped around, you're impatient. I really didn't think the tour would take this long, but I'm going to work pretty hard on the production of this video, so I hope you see how much effort actually went into it. It really took a lot of time planning, budgeting, and creating the gym, so a lot of what I had to say in this video kind of reflects how much thought actually went into each of the portions of the gym at a functional standpoint. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to do all that supportive YouTube stuff, like the video, really if you like the video, comment below, have a conversation with me in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see, let me know what you want me to do, let me know if you want to hear anything else concerning anything in the gym or in training in general. And be sure to subscribe, especially if you want to see more. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I'm going to try my best to pump these more out. It's kind of nice to have my own studio now, so I feel far more motivated to get these out there. This again was the first video of the Project Invincible channel. I will see all of you later. Thanks again. Bye.